bypass surgery in 1998 is when he had the surgery. As it turns out, see, Wayne, how good you are, man. He had a family history of high cholesterol and had the surgery to clear a blocked artery, and they screwed it up. Oh my. Wayne, I got to confess, I didn't know that until you just said it.
Well, way back then, I tried to actually contact them with no luck to send them some heart drops, but I never did find them. Another one of my true heroes who had open heart surgery and was probably the toughest football player of all time, Dick Butkus. I tried to find him too and could not get through to him. After I read an article a few years ago in the magazine called Still Growlin', they interviewed Dick Butkus. You remember Dick Butkus, Dr. Garko?
I do. In fact, when I lived in Miami um, several years back, I had some friends that were friends of his. I met him a couple of times. He wouldn't remember me. It was some gatherings, um, and I had some close friends that were friends of his. Yeah, so I'm familiar. He was a popular figure. So he had heart disease as well. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he did. He was something else. This is the only man in NFL history that the entire league was afraid of Dick Butkus. He was just the meanest, toughest linebacker that ever played the game, and he was one of my other big football hero, Joe Namath. I did meet him a couple of times. Also a tough guy. After they punished him, Dr. Garko, when they started the American Football League, and convinced Namath to go and play there. He got a record paycheck of 400,000 a year, and in those
Mm.
days, linemen were getting $25,000 or $30,000 a year, and for years they punished him. I mean, they bashed his knees up. I mean, they were mean to him. And then when they saw how tough he was, and he still played when he was hobbling, he was a quarterback for the New York Jets. Uh, they took it easy on him. Whenever they would sack him, the tackler, instead of knocking him down, would just grab him and kind of lay him down on the ground because he really got everybody's respect afterwards. But I did meet him, but I sure would have liked to have met Dick Butkus. My other hero was Muhammad Ali. Never got to meet him. And then I found out that a fellow I did business with in Pennsylvania at Exide, his mother was the cook for Muhammad Ali at his training camp in, I think, Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. So I could have met him and never did. I'm always be sorry for that. But yeah, Dana
Well,
Garvey, a lot
I,
of
I
these
can tell
guys,
you, I can
had.
tell you this. Um, I spent 4 hours or more with Muhammad Ali on an airplane, sitting next to him, flying back from LA. And I
Wow,
have
is
to
that
tell you
right?
that, Wayne, it was a remarkable experience. He
Awesome.
and I, we, what's that?
That's awesome.
It is awesome. I swear, everything I'm telling you is the truth. Um,
Wow.
he was amazing. And when he was sitting next to me, and he had his entourage with him, we were in first class, and they were behind him, and he and I were sitting there, and his hands, I couldn't take my eyes off his hands. His hands were huge, and he was so kind and so accommodating. We talked about everything. Uh, it was really a remarkable moment. I'll never forget it. This was a while back. It was on a 747 uh, jet, and
Geez,
if I
I'm
recall,
so envious. Wow, that's incredible, Dr. Garko. I would have
yeah.
I would have bought Muhammad Ali a new car to spend 30 minutes with him. He is my number one hero. I think he's the most courageous man that ever lived.
Katie
And he
met
100%.
said
Joe
things.
Namath. Doc, did you see that in the chat?
Yeah, she met Joe
Yeah.
Namath. I'm not surprised. Listen,
What?
all these movie stars and whatnot that come to the station, Katie's always taking pictures with these people.
Believe it or not, I did not meet him at the radio station, but yes, I do meet a lot of random people here at the station.
That's
And they all
wow.
they're the celebrities, and they want to take pictures with her. So I'm just saying, Wayne.
That's fair.
Wow.
That's fair.
when
That
this is
darn
all
COVID, I
over,
would have come by
and
the
we're
station in April
we're
there
back
if it
to
wasn't
normal.
for this corona, and I would have met Katie.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I was just going to say, when this is all over, I know you were going to come to Tampa. We had plans to go to dinner. You were going to come to the station. Well, that day will come, and we'll get some photographs. They didn't want to take pictures with me. They said, I want to take a picture with her.
No, that's not true.
It is true. It is true. It's okay. I'm good with that. We'll be right back. Wayne's World.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take Solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is not addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone-Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone-Up gives you all of these. Bone-Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone-Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, Live Fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. In this hour, we are featuring Wayne's World with Wayne Elliott. And this is good. Wayne is a guy who figured it out somewhere along the way that he needed to take better care of his health. A lot of people never figure it out and end up, in a bad way. But it's never too late. And it's not to say that he caught it late, but uh, it's an interesting story. I mean, his story reflects many people and their experience in life. And when your health is threatened to the extent that your life is threatened, well, I'll tell you what, smart people, it gets their attention. Others, I don't know, it's almost like, I don't know, they're just not reachable. But Wayne made changes, and he figured out, he got in touch with some good people up there in Canada, Strauss family for one, and they introduced him to Strauss Heart Drops, and he's been doing it for over 20 years now. And he's told that story. But it turns out that it's made a difference in his life. It can make a difference in yours. Wayne, welcome back.
Dr. Garko, and I'll tell you, before we go on, Doc, when we get together for that dinner, you've got to remind me or try to remember everything that you talked about with Muhammad Ali. Boy, I would have given anything to be sitting in that other seat on the other side. I'll tell you that.
I can tell you almost word for word. I watched documentaries with him. Just last night, I watched a documentary on Sonny Liston, who had a tragic life. And of course, Muhammad Ali was very much implicated with Sonny Liston, as you well know. Just last night, I watched it on Sonny Liston. It's dark. Poor soul. They found dead in his room. He had been dead for a week. He was, yeah. And so I watch all documentaries with Muhammad Ali. You're right. He was one of the most courageous people on earth. He was my hero too, Wayne. I'm glad that you said that. It really speaks well of you.
He's a great man. My dad and his good friend, who's long gone, they're both long gone, they were ringside. He didn't get to meet Muhammad Ali or Sonny Liston, but they were ringside in Miami when Ali won the first heavyweight championship from Sonny Liston. And, I would have given anything to be there, too. I never missed one fight back in those days. If you remember, Dr. Garko, you couldn't watch it until they had the closed circuit TV. You couldn't watch any live unless you were at the fight. But the following Saturday on Wide World of Sports, they would play his most recent fight. I never missed one. I just thought he was picked athlete of the century. And, boy, he'd get my vote for that. That's for sure. He was an incredible, courageous man.
So
let me just turn. Weren't so popular in those days to say about, from black people, and he had the courage to say them. And he used to say, I say things that black people want to say, but they're afraid. And he
had
wasn't
the courage
afraid of anything. That guy, he sure did.
Yeah, he stood up to the federal government. He did. Things that most people wouldn't do. Let me frame this in a little different way, because it gets to the heart of the matter. And you'll see what I mean. No pun intended. It turns out, Wayne, that Muhammad Ali and Mickey Mantle shared something in common. People are saying, what is he talking about? What they shared in common was they were magnificent biological examples and specimens that, they were just gifted that way. They were both so gifted biologically, Mickey Mantle and Muhammad Ali. Mickey Mantle degenerated because of alcoholism. Muhammad Ali degenerated ultimately because of Parkinson's disease, being all those blows to the head.
This is the first conversation that y'all have ever had that I can actually, I know what's going on.
Okay. Okay. So
Because it's about
there's a
sports.
documentary. There's a documentary, Wayne, and for the audience, this will give you an insight into all the things that you talk about on this show about taking care of yourself and whatnot. Watch the documentary on Mickey Mantle. You'll weep at the end, what happened to him and how he degenerated. He was magnificent specimen physically.
Was he
He
ever?
could do anything, and he got so sick because he abused his body. And it goes to the point that you make all the time, Wayne. And you allude to it often. The way you live, what you eat, and so on, it can get you into trouble. Fortunately, you got lucky, and you met somebody up there in Canada, the Strauss family, that I guess literally saved your life. Uh, you know, Mickey Mantle wasn't so fortunate. So I'm just saying.
No question about that. I'm forever grateful, as you know, Dr. Garko, for Jim Strauss. That was just the luckiest day of my life.
Yeah.
No question about it.
So you did
I'll be
well.
forever
And
grateful.
in the Strauss Naturals, you know, if I weren't, as I joke, I said, the first 3 months I felt like I was in a witness protection program. Now I feel like I'm under house arrest. When I used to get out more, people would always approach me and talk to me, and they would talk. You talked about this on the show, and the most frequent questions I would get would be about the Strauss heart drops and cardiovascular health. So I'm not out there so much now because I can't be, but I would get that all the time, and I was always happy to share it with them. Now we have you on, and you're able to tell them, so that's a good thing. We come back, we'll get Wayne to tell you a little bit more about the Strauss heart drops, and you can combine it with 2 other nice, wonderful supplements that will serve you well during this very stressful time called the COVID-19 pandemic. We'll be right back.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
1250 WHNZ. Online at WHNZ.com. On your phone with the iHeartRadio app. And on hundreds of devices like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos. An iHeartRadio station.
Here's your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword CHECK to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's CHECK to 200-200.
News on 1250 WHNZ.
Hurricane Isaias could become a Category 2 storm by the time it gets close to Florida on Saturday. The National Hurricane Center says the path of the storm has it skirting the East Coast, but no landfall in Florida. There's a tropical storm watch in effect from Ocean Reef to Sebastian Inlet. 5 people were shot, including a Tampa police officer, after a gunman went on a random shooting spree from his car throughout the city. Patricia Graham tells News Channel 8.
He was watching me watch him. Got out of his car, shot at some people down that way.
The suspect shot the cop in the arm. All shooting victims are expected to recover. Florida has 4 of the top 5 beaches in the country, according to TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Awards. Siesta Key is number 1, St. Pete Beach number 2, Pensacola 4th, Clearwater number 5. With Florida's news, I'm Chris Trankman.
From the 1250 WHNZ Florida Central Credit Union Home Loans Traffic Center.
An accident blocks all the eastbound lanes of I-4 getting into the area near Socrum Loop, and westbound also has 2 left lanes blocked at this crash scene. In Pinellas County, had a crash on Park Street at Pasadena Avenue. There's a crash on 30th Avenue North at 56th Street. See traffic problems? Call the traffic tip line at pound 250 keyword Tampa traffic.
This report is sponsored by Florida Department of Transportation. Hey you, the one who just thought about checking your phone. How about you don't? That text or unread notification can wait until you get there. Did you know that you can now be stopped and ticketed for texting and driving in Florida? So put that phone down and focus on driving.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dealing with battery problems? We've got you. Let's start with a free battery test. If you just need a free charge, we can help with that too. And if it's time for a new battery, you're in the right place. We've got a full selection of batteries starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination, where help is always in stock. Based on data from the NPD Group Incorporated Car Care Track, 12 months ending December 2019.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Work at home. Work out at home. Second period math at home. Date night at home. Lately, we're doing a lot more at home, which means we're doing a lot less driving. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you get the same reliable coverage you'd expect, but only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save more with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote.
Price based on driving behaviors and includes a daily rate subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
Hi, it's Bob Koschel here from the Gulf Coast Air Systems Weather Center.
Partly cloudy, hot and steamy today with a 20 to 30% chance of an isolated storm, high of 92. Muggy, hot, and mild tonight, low of 79.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. If you're driving less, you could be saving more on car insurance. With pay-per-mile insurance from Allstate, pay for the miles you drive and save on the miles you don't. Call a local Allstate agent and get a quote now.
Dana Lash and the Dana Show on 1250 WHNZ.
Because they keep saying, oh, it's hate speech. It's not hate speech. It's just because someone's politics aren't yours doesn't make it hate speech. I don't like it. It's a different idea. It's a hate. Stop. I don't believe in hate speech. I believe in people being jackwagons. It's real simple. Hate speech. Isn't everything that is unkind born of selfish hate?
The Dana Show. Weeknights 10 to midnight on 1250 WHNZ.
On this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Since about the 1950s or thereabouts, scientists began and have researched garlic, and in a formal way, using science to study the properties of garlic, in particular, aged garlic. And over these many decades, moving out of that other century into this one, garlic has been shown to reduce heart disease risk factors, including atherosclerosis, elevated cholesterol, thrombosis, and high blood pressure. Now, if you're seeking, people can't take everything under the sun or under the moon or stars for that matter. However, when you take Strauss Heart Drops, you get the benefit because it can address a lot of cardiovascular conditions at once. So that's one of its wonderful features. Wayne, welcome back. It turns out that aged garlic has properties that really serve the cardiovascular system well. You know that from your own experience. But that I just want people to understand that this isn't some gimmick product. This is a scientifically proven product. And we have a lot of people such as yourself who have the stories to tell it as well, their own anecdotes. Welcome back.
Garko, yeah, I'm so fortunate myself that I didn't have that open heart surgery, and my dad didn't. He had one booked in Boston because he had taken the Strauss prostate. That formula is just now back being made
Oh,
by
good.
Strauss. Back in those days they made it, and I convinced my dad to try the prostate formula for 3 months. And when he went back to Boston, was they were so impressed with his PSA and all the rest of it that he had his prostate with him when he died years later, quite a few years later. And because of that, my dad was a great believer in Western medicine and prescription medicine. Had a lot of friends who were doctors, and on purpose, he built 2 specialist homes for them down in the Hamilton Beach Strip. One was a neurosurgeon, one a plastic surgeon that were friends of his. So he always maintained close friendships with many doctors. And when he had an angioplasty in Boston because he had blocked arteries and restricted blood flow, and they wanted him to have the open heart surgery. And because the prostate had worked so well for him, I convinced my dad to take the Strauss heart drops for 3 months and go back to Boston. And so there was some risk involved. At least my dad felt there was, of course, with them encouraging him to have the surgery and bypasses. Well, he took the heart drops, went back to Boston, and they canceled the surgery, that he didn't need it. They said it was a miracle and all that stuff that they say, and my dad, died in his 78th year with no heart issues, and he'd been diagnosed 15 years before that, Dr. Garko, with some real problems. Told he would go like his mom. My grandma didn't know any of us didn't know herself the last 10 or 12 years she was alive. And my dad suffered none of that. He was sharp as a tack the day he died, and so I sure have some great personal gratification with those Strauss heart drops, I can tell you, and so many friends. And it's painless. That's the beauty of it, Doc. Painless.
Yeah. You
I
don't
didn't
have to be
suffer
put on an operating table. As well as I, we get questions about where are the studies? Where are the studies? And they want specific studies with a specific product. Let me share this with the audience and with you. There are scores of studies on garlic, generally aged garlic in particular. There was a study back in 2017 on aged garlic. And what they found was it was a laboratory study. It was with mice, but we have these experiments that then translate over into humans. And what they found was the aged garlic was able to reduce C-reactive protein by 39%, which is a highly volatile and dangerous compound. Tumor necrosis factor by 35%, thromboxane by 33%, interleukin-1. These are cytokines. Some of these are cytokines that can do a lot of damage because they promote inflammation. So the science is there. It's not just anecdotal evidence, but we have scientific evidence that these compounds in aged garlic work, Wayne.
Absolutely. I was involved about 20 years ago, Dr. Garko, with the first clinical study on the Strauss heart drops, and it was done at the London, Ontario Hospital. In Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario is really our medical center with a half a dozen hospitals, and London is the second in Ontario. And they did a study. It was a small one, Dr. Garko. I think it was with 48 people only, and remarkable results. Those study results are available as well. And what they noted, of course, was the cholesterol, triglycerides, all the. I have never actually heard what you just shared with us, those words, but the study was pretty remarkable, and of course the anecdotal, our experience with it has been no less remarkable over all these years. And
Okay.
I would never talk about a product. I mean, heart disease is a very serious thing, and you sure can't be cavalier with people's health. That's for sure. But I'm just so confident, have so much faith in those heart drops. Well, I've never stopped taking them. It's all these years I continue to take them every day.
Well, you should have confidence. You should, because let me give a citation so people. I don't make stuff up. I don't need to do that. Immunomodulation and anti-inflammatory effects of garlic compounds. Translation: the benefits of garlic. They can help keep your immune system moderated, and they have anti-inflammatory effects. The heart disease is a disease of inflammation. People don't understand that. They don't get it. And on the show, I tried to educate about that. It's an inflammatory disease. It's a disease of inflammation. And the aged garlic, can moderate that inflammation. The inflammation comes from the immune system. It's gone awry. And it creates all of these different agents that will destroy the tissues of the arteries. So this study was published in 2015 in the Journal of Immunology Research. So I don't make it up. All the things that you say on this show are supported by science, Wayne.
Well, that's good and not surprising to me. For sure, Dr. Garko. It's good because a lot of folks, they do want the science back up, and yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. It's just a wonderful thing. I can't believe how easy and painless it is. I have many friends, Dr. Garko, who have had open heart surgery. Some very good, close friends.
Well, hold your thought. When we come back, we'll talk some more, and I'll have the LTN Health Question of the Day. Wayne's World.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products. Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. So, here's a true and false question. It deals with garlic. Now, you can get garlic in all kinds of different forms. I've done shows on it. I've written about it. That's a story for another day. And you can get it, of course, in food. You can eat raw garlic. If you had to guess, what do you think would be more effective in promoting better cardiovascular health generally and arterial health specifically, eating raw garlic or taking aged garlic? Which one of those two would provide a better cardiovascular effect? Eating raw garlic or taking aged garlic in a supplement form to produce a better cardiovascular effect and to really provide specifically a better arterial effect, better protection for your arteries? Should you eat raw garlic, or would it be better to take aged garlic in a dietary supplement form like Strauss Heart Drops? That's an easy one. Here's the number to call to get a $25 supplement gift.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
There's Katie with her blanket.
Sadly, I don't have my blanket. This is just my jacket wrapped around because I'm freezing.
Yeah, it's a meat locker in there. Wayne, welcome back. You're right. People are always pressing me. Say, where, Dr. Garko, you're on there with Wayne, and you guys are talking about, where's the science? Where's the science? Okay, today I'm giving them a good dose of it. I want to, I know these terms will sound funny, but there was a study done, the study that I just referred to, what they specifically found with aged garlic, like you find with the Strauss Heart Drop, got these things called cytokines, Wayne. These are secreted proteins. They're pro-inflammatory and they're anti-inflammatory. They help you and they can hurt you. depending on if they get out the pro-inflammatory, if they get out of control. What they found with aged garlic, like with Strauss heart drop, that the aged garlic had these compounds in it that promoted the cytokines, the cytokines to downregulate the aged garlic downregulated the immune system with these pro-inflammatory cytokines, which produced less inflammation. I know it's a little technical, but the point is that's what's happening. You're downregulating the immune system in this case, so you have less inflammation, less damage to the arteries. That's what aged garlic does, and I'm trying to give a sense of what the mechanism of action is. Back to you.
Yeah, you know what else, Dr. Garko? A common thing with folks that have, men I know that have had open heart surgery, they get these frozen shoulders. I don't understand how that happens, but apparently, from my friends have told me, it's more painful than the surgery itself and lasts longer. I don't get it. Is it because some small vessels and nerves have been cut in the surgery, or why would they have frozen shoulders? So many people. After
Wow,
heart
that is that's an interesting. There is such a condition, frozen shoulder, what they call a frozen shoulder. It's a common disorder that, as you say, causes pain and stiffness, and this is often affiliated with people who have had strokes, for example. They will get it. It has not, I'm not quite sure how that works out, what the mechanism of action is, but what you're talking about is very real. It's interesting that you always bring up these things. You really put me to the test here, buddy. No,
only out of my ignorance, Doc. Only out of my ignorance.
No. It's out of your curiosity, man.
Yeah.
Frozen shoulder. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like women who have had mastectomies, for example, will experience the same thing. And of course, that's obvious. But with heart surgery, I'm not quite sure. I'll look into it and I'll give you a better answer next time. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, these are the kinds of things that people want to know about. It has something to do with there's encapsulation, something to do with the tissues. If I had to guess, there's a phenomenon. It's called adhesive capsulitis. That's the technical name. Adhesive capsulitis. That's the inability. That's a hallmark of frozen shoulder. Apparently, with the surgery, something is happening to the tissues that causes that to happen. That's a general answer, but adhesive capsulitis, itis means inflammation, itis. So that's what's going on there. So you averted open heart surgery. You're fortunate, man.
Well, that's for sure. I've seen it on television and some documentaries. When they cut through the sternum and so forth, they've got that device that just cranks open the ribs to expose your heart to them to do their thing. And I suppose that itself could maybe
Absolutely.
cause some of these after pains.
That's invasive, man. You're really, that's injury. It's surgery, but it's injury to the body. By the way, there's my Strauss heart drop, holding it up. You're watching. And I also have my kidney support drops. There they are, the two of them. And my CardioCalm is over on the kitchen counter. I only have two hands. So I can't hold three of them up at the same time. So I got them right here. Take them. There you go. So what are you going to do this weekend in Wayne's World?
I think you're safe signing another 20-year contract, Doc. If you're taking all that stuff, go ahead and sign up for another 20 years.
All right. Thank you. What are you going to do this weekend, Wayne? What's on the agenda, man?
I got a whole bunch of young people with their young kids, including some of my grands coming over tomorrow, and looking forward to that always. And later.
Okay, I'm gonna. Let's get this caller in. Renee, what's the answer? What's better, aged garlic or raw garlic?
I
What's better?
think it's the aged garlic.
Aged garlic, you're a winner. Congratulations. Wayne, I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to get that lady in. Enjoy your family this weekend, Wayne.
You as well. Have a great weekend, Doc.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get back and we'll go to dinner soon. We'll hope. Take care. Your health is your wealth. I love you.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the